Welcome guys. How are you doing today? I'm back again with another video. In this video, I'll show you the ultimate guide to boost Gameloop 7.1 new update. I know it's late, but still, many of you are still struggling with lag, freeze, render and desync problems, especially those low-end gamers. So, without wasting time, if you've watched my previous videos, continue watching and don't forget to hit that like button and share the video. Let's jump right into it. First thing you want to do is check for Windows Update. Make sure your Windows is running on the latest version of Windows. But if you decide not to upgrade Windows, it's perfectly fine. Just make sure that your current Windows is up to date because minor updates, such as security patches, are also important. So go ahead and check for updates. Now, I'll be going through some stuff I missed in the previous video and adding new tweaks to them. So what you want to do is go inside Gameloop's root folder. TX Game Assistant. UI. In this folder, if you remember, the old Gameloop version had only Android emulator. But in this new update, there's Android emulator, EN, and Android emulator, EX. They are both the same, but it depends where the emulator is launched. For example, if I launch the emulator from an app, in the processes, it will show Android emulator, EX. And if the emulator is launched directly through PUBG, it will show Android emulator, EN. So now what you want to do is right-click on Android emulator, EN. Go to Properties. Compatibility tab. Make sure to go to Change Settings for all users. In here, check the box, Disable Full Screen Optimization, and Run as Administrator. Then Apply and OK. Do exactly the same with Android emulator, EX. Now, right-click on AOW_EXE. Go to Properties. This is the secret method I shared with you in the last video. Then go to Compatibility tab. Change Settings for all users. In here, do exactly the same. Then check Run this program in compatibility mode. Select Windows 8. Make sure it's Windows 8. After that, click on Apply. But this time, go to General tab. Check this box, Read Only. This should significantly improve rendering speed or even decrease loading time. Then Apply and OK. Now, if you remember, I spoke about high DPI in the previous video. It helps sharpen the overall quality of the game. Pros and cons. You're able to spot enemies at far distances, which makes it much easier. However, this only adds more load to your CPU because texts and images that appear on screen needs to be processed by your CPU. So I only recommend this to high-end PCs. Another reason is that, with this new update, Gameloop 7.1 looks as if high DPI is applied. So if any other YouTube video tells you to enable this setting, I don't recommend you to do so. So to disable high DPI, follow this example. Right-click, go to Properties. Compatibility tab. Change Settings for all users. Change High DPI settings. Uncheck Program DPI and High DPI Scaling Override. This should disable high DPI and give a slight increase in performance. Use this example to disable high DPI in Android emulator, EN and EX, Android renderer, and AOW_EXE. And lastly, scroll up and click on Shader Cache folder. Then delete everything that's in here. I'm sure most of you know about this folder. This folder stores cache as temporary memory to help retrieve data much faster. In other words, when you launch PUBG, it uses this cache to reduce loading and rendering time. Hence, whenever you delete contents in this folder, you'll notice that your game will start to lag heavily. That's because there's no cache stored as yet and needs to be created. New configurations and rendering engine will be then cached, such as DirectX, OpenGL, and other changes you applied in the settings. Moving on, what we'll do is enable and disable few features in Windows. My main objective is to disable features that won't be needed for gaming or personal use. And for some, it might dramatically boost performance. Go to search bar. Type Windows features. Watch closely and copy these settings. Inside .NET Framework 4.8 Advanced Services, make sure ASP.NET 4.8 is checked. Check TCP activation. Uncheck Internet Explorer 11. Inside Legacy Components, check DirectPlay. This must be checked in order for Gameloop to use DirectX 11. Make sure to apply that tweak. After that, you want to make sure that every box is unchecked in MSMQ. Don't leave anything checked. Disable Virtual Machine Platform and Windows Hypervisor Platform. Inside Windows Process Activation Service, make sure .NET environment is checked. And lastly, Windows Subsystem for Linux, disabling this will improve boot time. So make sure this is unchecked. After that, click OK, and Windows will search for required files, then restart if needed. If you've been watching without skipping any step, kudos to you. So what we'll do in this step is install runtime environments. Runtimes provide the functionality necessary for a program to run properly. So to install runtimes, go to Night's website. Scroll down till you find Runtimes. Here, you want to check all boxes. Scroll down once again and download the runtimes you've selected. After that, run the application, install the runtime environments, and restart your PC if needed. So in this step, you need to be using ProcessLasso. Once that's clear, go at the bottom right corner and right-click on the battery icon. Select Power Options. In here, make sure Bitsum Highest Performance is selected and set as default. After that, click on Change Plan Settings. What we'll do is optimize your PC's power plan settings only when gaming. So, in hard disk, turn off hard disk after, set both on battery and plugged into never or 0. Desktop background settings, slideshow. Set on battery to paused and plugged into available. Wireless adapter settings, power saving mode. Set both to maximum performance. Intel graphics settings. Intel power plan. Set on battery to maximum battery life. I'll talk more about this setting further down the video, so keep watching. And set plugged into maximum performance. After that, inside PCI Express, link state power management. Set on battery to maximum power savings and plugged into off. Then apply and OK. Go back to the main screen. Then go to choose what the power buttons do. In here, you will see few options grayed out. To enable them, click on Change settings that are currently unavailable. Then check the box, turn on Fast Startup and save changes. Now, what we'll do is optimize Windows network adapter settings for heavy gaming. This will increase internet speed and significantly decrease loading time when surfing the web. So what you want to do is right-click on the Windows icon. Select Device Manager. Then in here, you want to go to Network Adapters. Find your primary network adapter. Right-click. Go to Properties. This is very important because few of you had commented about how to fix ping or the unstable ping fix. So make sure to watch closely and follow my steps. Go to Advanced tab. Then in here, you want to copy exactly all these settings I'm about to show you. D0 packet coalescing, set this to disable. Network address, leave this as is. Preferred band, choose no preference. As you can see, there's 2.4 GHz band and 5 GHz band. Difference between them is that the 2.4 GHz band provides coverage of a longer range but transmits data at slower speeds. While on the other hand, 5 GHz band provides less coverage but transmits data at faster speeds. So if you're close to your router, you can choose 5 GHz. But if you're away from your router, whether if it's upstairs, downstairs, or in another bedroom, then select 2.4 GHz. This is your personal preference, so you can try testing and see which works best. But for me, I found no preference to be the optimal setting for gaming. Roaming aggressiveness, set this to highest. Wireless mode, make sure this is set to 12 to 11 or the highest available. After that, go to Power Management tab. In here, make sure Allow the computer to turn off this device to save power is unchecked. Then click on OK to apply these settings. After that, find your network adapter controller. Go to Properties. Advanced tab. In here, you want to set these values accordingly. I'll go through them quickly, pause the video where needed. After that, go in Power Management once again and uncheck the box. And OK. After that, go to System Devices. Then you want to look for High Precision Event Timer. Right-click. Select Disable this device. Do not uninstall the device because the next time you reboot, it will automatically reinstall the device. So make sure to keep it disabled. This will improve performance when gaming. Once you've applied those network settings, download a software called TCP Optimizer. I provided the link in the description. Run as administrator. In here, you'll see everything grayed out. To enable them, click on Custom. After that, I want you to copy exactly just these settings, don't skip any. Make sure Modify All Network Adapters is checked and that your primary network adapter is in this box. Then top here, you should see connection speed. Match this correctly with your internet speed. As for me, it's 40 MB. Then go to Advanced Settings. Again, copy these settings, don't miss anything. Finally, apply changes. This will create and apply the advanced settings made to your network adapter. And for this to take effect, you need to restart your computer. Go ahead and click Yes. If you made it this far, then truly, you deserve to have my optimized gaming pack. I've done a ton of testing with them, and I can tell you, it significantly reduced input lag, improved rendering and fixed ping by 10 ms. It's perfectly safe. Just so you know, I do all these tests on a low-end laptop, that's how I know the tweaks work. Some PCs may get better results, but that's only if you followed my steps correctly. So now, download my ultimate Gameloop VST gaming pack. Extract the zip file and go inside the folder. First, what we'll do is merge registry files to the registry editor. Our main focus here is these two folders. You want to go with the folder that's based on the version of Gameloop you're using. For example, Once in here, you'll see 5 registry files. Go ahead and merge the reg files. There's also a readme text file, make sure to read it. Go back to the main folder and go inside runtime environment files. Copy all files except guide. Leave that aside. Then what you want to do is paste these files in this directory. Watch closely and follow my lead. Now, go to Gameloop's root folder. In here, you also want to paste these files in these folders. So go ahead, paste them. Next, we'll do a deep cache cleaning. Right-click on Cache Cleaner. Run as administrator. This will perform a deep clean on your PC. This can take up to a minute or more, so wait for it to finish, do not exit the program. After Cache Cleaner is finished, last thing we'll do is apply a new configuration in ProcessLasso. I've tweaked and optimized it very accurately. All you need to do is open ProcessLasso. At the top left corner, under File, click on Import Configuration. Select the configuration file. Open. And that should do it. If you've correctly pasted and applied all files, you can now safely restart your PC. Since I don't only want to fix game issues, here's another setting I highly recommend you to disable. This will improve your gaming experience when aiming, the precision and accuracy in any game. In this step I want you to disable mouse acceleration. If you don't know what that is, then you might not want to skip this step. Let's start off by going to Settings, Devices, Mouse. In here, click on Additional Mouse Options. In this window, go to Pointer Options. Here you'll see settings that controls motion, snapping and visibility of your cursor. For now, we'll focus on the motion. Here you want to make sure to uncheck Enhance Pointer Precision. This feature changes the rate at which your cursor moves based on the speed you're moving the mouse. This can harm your accuracy, especially if you're a competitive gamer, because your mouse pointer will move based on speed and not distance. So with this enabled, it will be harder for you to perform flick shots in game. Let's use this clip as an example. Here you can see, my crosshair moved even to my physical mouse movement. And if I had mouse acceleration enabled, it would be reliant on the speed of my mouse, causing it to go further or lower. You can also see that my shot took 144 milliseconds before the hit mark was confirmed. So you want to make sure to disable this setting. It will feel weird at first, but you can always go to Settings and adjust the mouse speed. Next thing we'll do is apply the best optimal GPU setting for Gameloop. I'll be sharing with you the best optimal settings for Nvidia GPUs. But before we continue, you need to make sure that your Nvidia, Intel and other drivers are up to date. After you've checked for updates, proceed from here. Go to Nvidia Control Panel. Once in here, make sure to apply the same settings as I do. Don't skip anything. What you want to do is click on Use My Preference. After that, set the slider to Performance. Then once again, click on Use the Advanced 3D Image Settings and apply. Then go to Set PhysX Configuration. In this box, select your GPU, not the CPU. Then go to Manage 3D Settings. Also in this box, choose High Performance Nvidia Processor. Then copy exactly these settings. Pause the video. Now apply these new settings. Lastly, go to Program Settings. Here you want to click on Add. Browse. Then go to Gameloop's root folder and choose Android Emulator, EN. Now in this box, choose High Performance Nvidia Processor. Then apply. This should give an extra boost in performance. And finally, Gameloop Settings. It has been a long way if you've made it this far. So I want to make sure that you apply the best and optimal setting for PUBG. So, if you have a PC without a dedicated GPU, apply these settings. You want to set screen rendering mode to Auto. Check all the boxes, make sure to apply vertical sync, no matter what PC spec you have, enable it. It helps reduce game stutters. Always keep anti-aliasing off. Set memory and processor to automatic. Set resolution to your monitor's resolution. DPI, set this to 240. Model, always set this to ROG2. Game, set this to SD 720p. Display quality to smooth. And FPS to 60. If your PC has a dedicated GPU, then apply these settings. Also note that if test 1 didn't work for low-end PC, you can also apply these settings. But I'll leave a mark on the setting you should keep. So now, choose DirectX. Then check all boxes. Set anti-aliasing to off. Set memory equivalent to your PC's memory. Set processor with the same amount of processors running on your PC. Set resolution to your monitor's resolution. Set DPI to 240. Model, always choose ROG2. Game, set this to HD 1080p. Display quality to smooth. And FPS to 60. If the game runs smooth with 60 FPS, try 90 FPS for better gaming. This will drastically improve performance and achieve more FPS in games. What we'll do is safely and carefully perform an overclock to your GPU. To do this, we'll be using a complete overclocking software called MSI Afterburner and also a benchmarking software called MSI Buster. It's free and safe to use. But make sure to follow my guide, do not go beyond my word. I won't be responsible for any damage caused to your PC. So now, download MSI Afterburner and MSI Buster. After installation, restart your PC. Then open MSI Afterburner. In here, you want to click on this tiny little icon, which will open MSI Buster. Inside here, you want to set resolution to 1365 by 768. Stress test, choose OpenGL for Mark Donut. Now our focus will be on MSI Afterburner, mainly on core clock and memory clock. Here you'll start off with 0. So what you want to do is start off by 10 increments. You'll need to be patient with this because starting off with a huge number like 100 can lead to system crash or freeze. So click on Apply and inside MSI Buster, click on Run Stress Test. Let this run for 2 to 3 mins. Your goal is to avoid getting graphic spikes, such as this. This occurs when it's beyond the limit, so anything above that will cause your system to be unstable. For example, my limit is set to 135 and 800 MHz. So setting this to 900 will result in this. So if this happens, decrease the values. You also want to first start with core clock and run stress test after changes are made. After finding an optimal value, move on to memory clock and repeat the process. After you've found your optimal setting, click on Save. Then in here you want to choose a slot and apply. After that, go to Settings. In here you want to make sure Start with Windows and Start Minimized is checked. Then apply. Then you want to minimize the program and let it run in the background. Oh, I almost forgot. Make sure to check this tiny window icon. This will automatically boot up MSI Afterburner at logon and load your saved profile. So that's all for this video. I truly hope that all my videos help you in some way or the other. There were a few more tips I wanted to add in this video, but unfortunately, the video editor began freezing and slowed down. So I'll be adding them in the description, tips and tricks to improve gaming performance, make sure to read them. Also share my videos, I want every PUBG emulator player to know about these tweaks, I appreciate and thank you for your support. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And comment down below if it helped you out. Have fun gaming and stay safe.